Okay, so we all know that there has been a pandemic, right? And there's some people who probably don't think it's real at all. And, that this isn't for those people. There, there has seemingly been an abundance of, I would like to say propaganda, I guess. Okay, so I know we're all ordering things, and I'm gonna say it, I'm guilty of it too, because there's some things that I can buy digital codes for, or some albums that I get on, Amazon, like digitally, because I can't get them through, like, I don't have Spotify, and I don't have, Apple Music, because I don't have an Apple device. So I buy them through Amazon. I'm not saying that I'm like a perfect person. I'm not saying that I don't do things for Amazon, but we know that everyone has been ordering things a lot more than they used to, and given the current pandemic, it's happening for a lot of people. A lot of places aren't open, and no one wants to make contact with people, and like this stuff being inside a box and taking a couple of days to get here, it makes you feel a little safer about like whether it has something contagious on it or not. And you can like remove a whole layer because you open it. That makes you feel more comfortable and more secure. However, what keeps bothering me is the fact that I keep seeing on TV, and if you don't have TV, I'm pretty sure I've seen it a couple of times on YouTube, there continues to be this Amazon propaganda. And I don't mean that to say, well, I kind of do mean that in a bad way. Jeff Bezos is like on the road to becoming a trillionaire, and I know that this isn't just directly going into his, like, he doesn't have a physical like $1 trillion in his account that it's like accumulated en masse through his distributions and all this, but that's still a crap ton of money. That trillions of dollars for one single person is an enormous amount of money, and it baffles me that people keep saying that, like, when we say that we should get rid of billionaires because billionaires should not exist, that they're like, oh, without billionaires then companies wouldn't exist. No, not really, because when Jeff Bezos passes away, Amazon is still going to exist. When Walt Disney passed away, Disney continued to exist. These businesses will continue to exist without their founding face. Steve Jobs is not currently present, but Apple still continues to exist. There is an inheritance to this wealth, and of course with people who are especially wealthy, this money is immediately distributed to their offsprings if they have it. Thus they can maintain the power and like economic power that they have throughout their entire life, and accumulating more because it was already set in place so that they could accumulate more, so that they'll continue to amass this. It's like a monarchy, basically. Not like exactly the same, of course, but holding power enough, when it's money in the millions or billions, that kind of power, that doesn't just go away. That money doesn't just disappear once that person dies. They pass it on to people. There is a thing called a will, if you haven't known it. And Amazon continues to have this propaganda when he's already on the road to making trillions of dollars. Some people are praising this man for almost having $1 trillion, but I'm like, do you guys not remember that these people were living in unsafe conditions? Some of them had to provide their own masks. People were on strike, and they were expected to go to work still. Like, there was that one article in, like, I think it was like British Amazon factories or warehouses or whatever. I don't remember where, sorry. But there was like people who didn't have bathroom breaks. Do you not, like, this is not, yeah, you can be like, oh yeah, it pays nice. This propaganda that has come on the commercials has been bothering me. They have used a deaf man. They have used an Asian woman. They have used another woman who was like, oh haha, yeah, when it came in we all thought it was whiskey, but no, this is a giant bottle of Germex. You're using minorities, people with disabilities. I don't know if you call them disability. I don't think that being deaf is like a bad thing. And then women, and they use kids too. They're like, oh yeah, with the alcohol bottle lady, she was like vodka. She was like, oh yeah, when we get a package, my kid is like, ooh, mommy's work. And then they show a video of him being like, ooh, mommy's work. Don't make me, I'm humanizing the workers. I care about the workers. Amazon as a corporation is not safe for workers. It has not been that beneficial for workers. This is something that I personally believe. It's not like, you could argue that it isn't fact because it, en masse, I haven't seen that many complaints, but on individual stories, I have heard atrocious things about the conditions of the warehouses, or how many hours they're expected to work, or the bathroom breaks and everything, or, well, I mean, like having to work on holidays. That isn't something that should be happening. You could argue that they're being paid decent wage, but I don't even think that's exactly true. They're not being paid enough for everything that they're expected, and these commercials are making me feel worse, because I don't want, fortunately, I've only ordered digital things, so I don't feel like it's the same, amount of, like, damage to people, because they're not like having to ship a box and ship it to me. But it's still like, I'm guilty, but it's only been like $20. It's like this past like 4 months. I promise I don't order from Amazon much ever. I've only had to order music from there basically lately, and like PlayStation codes. This, I humanize, I sympathize, I feel bad for the workers, and you using kids as like a little like more homely, more personable experience for the Amazon worker. I care about the workers. I care about the workers. I don't care about the industry as a whole. I don't care for them. They own like Whole Foods. They have become such a, not exactly a monopoly, because they have the stores incorporated into them, but for small local businesses, they have gotten rid of them basically. You can't compete with Amazon's prices. I myself have been like, oh, well, you know, I don't want to pay like an extra 50 cents, so I'm gonna buy it from Amazon, or like the shipping is free from here, from Amazon instead of from here, so I wanted to get it from here. And so like you look, I know I'm part of the problem. I know I'm part of the problem, but at least I've mainly ordered things digitally, and if I can, I have ordered things from like, you know, eBay or other places like that, where I'm getting it from the person who is the individual seller themselves. I don't like these commercials. Amazon shipped me propaganda. Like, you know, like not exactly like shipped me, you know, but like a wordplay. And then Prime Day happened. I don't know. I'm upset. It makes me feel gross. And like, I'm like, do you guys not see? I know what that's what they're doing with these commercials. And for like most commercials, I don't care. But this is like, you hear a lot of bad things about Amazon. And I mean, Jeff Bezos should not be a trillionaire. Trillionaire, people. That's not an amount of money that should exist, you know? That's like the amount of debt the entire US is in. Well, not like just a trillion, but a lot more. I hate those commercials. I really don't like those commercials. Quit using people that I know should have representation, or we should care more about, to make me want to buy from Amazon. I like those people. If they were actual workers. Were they workers? I don't know. Maybe they were like actors in the Amazon attire. I don't know. But it makes me feel worse for them, knowing everything else that I've read. And like, maybe they themselves aren't going through it by themselves, you know? But there has been en masse discomfort and bad treatment or bad working conditions for some of these workers that they've been expected to work in. That's not a good thing. That isn't something that I'm comfortable with. And using these commercials, using these nice homely conditions, or like little spokespeople, basic spokespeople, to show that Amazon's like cute and it's nice, and we're just all you're everyday people. I'm deaf, I have a daughter, and it's just me taking care of her. I'm an Asian lady, and I'm making sure that everyone's healthy to come inside of the facility. And like, you know, it's great because I feel like I'm helping people. Or that woman who's like, oh yeah, my kid says it's mommy's work whenever we get an Amazon shipping package, because he doesn't really know the difference. But like that makes me uncomfortable. Please don't buy the commercial, I guess. And if you can, please limit your purchasing from Amazon, because that kind of stuff makes me really, like, I feel like you should feel guilty. Like, I don't mean to like project that onto you, but I feel like you really should feel guilty if you read onto the stuff that some of the workers have had to go through. And I know that not every single person has had to go through some bad experiences, but like, also, I would probably try to believe people individually more than a company trying to use a commercial to make everything seem all upsy-daisy and happy-go-lucky. So, I don't know, it's up to you to support it if you want. And of course, during the pandemic, like, business is bustling, and that's what makes me so much more, like, upset with it. It's just gross. But, I don't know. It's up to you, I guess. Maybe you guys don't think it's such a bad thing. Maybe you don't think it's that weird. But I do.